Welcome to the MeMyddleton Show, a place to encourage neo-spiritualists to laugh, love, and learn, while we virtually walk through topics of the spiritual, magical, natural, and occultic worlds. I am your host, Evina. You have now entered the MeMyddleton Show.
Welcome back to the MeMyddleton Show. Let's get right into episode 11, Charming Spells, to cast or not to cast. So let's jump straight to it. One of the definitions of magic is the science and art of provoking change in conformity with the will, as all intentional acts are acts of magic. By nature, humans have the capacity to produce change in our environment. In an earlier episode, I gave this same definition given by famous occultist Aleister Crowley. I just really love the way he put it. I also spoke about, in the previous episode, a famous quote from Spider-Man, "With great power comes great responsibility," along with holding yourself to a higher standard. Now, with magic, responsibility, and higher standards in mind, I want to talk a little bit about charming spells and whether or not to cast them. Today's subject and episode 10's subject are two examples of why I actually support Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 9 through 11. Don't practice magic. If you are not interested in being responsible with your magic or hold yourself to a higher standard, which being responsible and having high standards will evolve you to more power, then please leave this alone and run far, far from it. Episode 10 is a bit heavier than today's subject. However, this subject is important to talk about. What are charming spells? They consist of magical formulas to create an effect on a person or object. Examples of charming spells are love spells, repay me spells, and get a job spells. Each of these influences their target to gain something. If you are not responsible, you can still fuck something up. Now, I actually support casting love, repay me, and get a job and other charming spells when performed responsibly. With each of these three, I would illustrate both sides of the coin to give you my reasons why you have to be responsible and hold yourself to a higher standard before trying to cast any of them. Let's start with get a job spells. A lot of you may be looking at me sideways wondering, well, what could possibly be harmful about gaining employment, especially a meaningful employment? All of those reasons, like bills piling up, you're hungry, need food, clothing, shelter, heat in the winter, AC in the summer, transportation, etc. Casting a simple charming spell over the HR person without any harm to them could be great if you're qualified for the job. Imagine casting a charming spell over the person doing the hiring with threats for a position you are not qualified for. If they rightfully don't hire you and your threats carry out, you could be taking innocent people off their personal destiny, create discord, or even have them hurt, all completely unnecessary and irresponsible of you for a job. Come on now. Even if there were no threats, if you happen to get hired for a position you have no experience in and you're not qualified for, there are chances of chaos to happen with your good name being smeared versus trying to gain new experiences and improve your resume. Here's a real example. Story time! A person can be hired with no experience as an entry-level unarmed security officer. I personally have over 14 years of protective service experience. I've worked in the fields, have had various leadership positions in and out of the office. A shift supervisor's position became available, right? That should tell you that you need at least a few years of security experience, and having supervisor, manager, leadership experience is a plus, right? There were 2 people up for the position. One guy, 16 years of experience, armed, certified, and have served in the military. Okay. The other guy, 6 weeks of security experience, and is a gymnastics coach for 6 to 10-year-olds. Guess who got the job? But didn't last long. Just to be clear, I myself was already a shift supervisor and turned to be an account manager. So I had nothing to do with that. Please leave comments as to who you think got that position and why they didn't stay long. I just want to hear your thoughts. Here's another security issue that illustrates disaster. Another story time, although I shouldn't sound so upbeat about this one. Okay, here what happened. New employee orientation always includes a class on fire safety, which includes how to use a fire extinguisher. There's this acronym, PASS, which stands for pull the pin, aim the nozzle at the base of the fire, squeeze the handle or lever, and sweep the nozzle from left to right. And yes, if you don't use it often, you may forget. So this one young lady who only worked for the company about 2 months, one night during her shift, she found a very small fire that was rapidly growing. In the moment of an actual emergency, she didn't know what to do. She did grab the fire extinguisher, but could not do the first step, pull the pin. As the fire got bigger and bigger, she was getting more and more nervous, more and more afraid, thus couldn't think clearly. Well, since she couldn't or didn't pull the pin, instead of getting to safety, there was no one else inside to evacuate the building. Okay, I'm going to make that clear. Instead of getting to safety and call 911, Lord, y'all, guess what she did? She threw the entire fire extinguisher can into the fire. You can imagine the explosion. You can also guess that she didn't survive. Where were you at, Evina? I was at home asleep. I didn't even know this was going down because I was too busy snoring, resting for the next day's shift. Have I performed get a job spells before? I most certainly did. Would I do this work for others? It depends on A, the divination results, and B, your resume and actual qualifications for the position. If they both give a thumbs up, more than likely I'll help you. If one is up and one is down, it's more than likely a no for me. If both thumbs are down, you might want to consider a different position or a different diviner. You can find somebody else who's going to say yes because you want them to say yes. I'm not going to say yes if both of them are down. You're going to get, hey, think about some other job or some other position because this ain't it. Or a whole flat out, nope, bye-bye, good luck. If any of those examples were magically influenced, which I doubt it might not be good for their accounts. Now let's look at repay me spells. Ever loaned money to someone and you're waiting too long for them to pay you back? It's well past the day they promised to pay you back. Again, there are 2 sides to this. If they got the money, and I mean verifiably have the money, and they're squandering money instead of repaying you, don't be creating false narratives about them having money to pay you back because you don't know the entire true situation. Okay, if they got the money, create a repay me spell that whispers to them to pay you back immediately. And do this without ill threats. Don't create your account, please. Remember? Now, if you know they don't have it, or you claim they have it without proof, and if you cast this charming spell on them, you could be very irresponsible for that and be fully responsible for their actions. What? What you mean? I'm responsible, Evina? What bullshit could possibly come from this? Well, check this out. Ever owe someone anything that you knew you had to hurry up and pay back? Did you feel burdened on any level, a small burden or big burden, to pay up what you didn't have at the time? Wasn't that shit stressful? Ever had to borrow from Peter to pay Paul? That's just stressful debt on top of stressful debt. That's a lot of burden. Wouldn't you agree? Now let's say you cast a spell on someone like that. Now they are charmed to do whatever to get you your money back. They might cause harm to others to get that money to you, like steal property or money, or to kill somebody for it. Please don't say, that's not my problem because they owe me, so they have to deal with the consequences of their actions. All of that is incorrect. Their actions were induced by you. So you are very much responsible for their actions to pay you back. So yeah, you're going to have to eat that one. And being spiritually responsible within most spiritual traditions, if someone owes you money, you do not do rituals to charm them to pay you back the day if you know they don't have it. In traditional spiritual practices, it's about freedom. Magic assists in creating freedom in your life when used responsibly. How much sense is it to practice arts to be free, but got people around you stressed the fuck out about this burden to pay you back? How that sound? However, you can cast something for them to be blessed with money with an emphasis on using that money to pay you back. You could do that. They are free from burden. You got your money back, and they got blessed with financial help thanks to you. See how that works? Here's how you up that ante. In episode 10, I spoke a lot about holding yourself to a higher standard in your magical journey. There are more mature behaviors you should consider adopting in your personal character, especially when it comes to gaining higher knowledge and power, not privy to the spiritually immature. They're not going to give a gun to a baby, okay? For scenarios like the pay me spells, would you like to know how to up that ante? Here's the key. Forgive their debt. Just release them from their burden. Charge it to the game. Personally, I wouldn't loan them any more money after that. Yet it's a case-by-case thing, okay? Releasing them from their debt and telling them to never worry about paying you back will not only up your ante, but more than likely, they won't ask you for more money again. Maybe, maybe not. The last type of trauma spell I want to tackle is a bit touchy for me personally. The first two types I can see doing. You need income. You just might want your money back. But this type of trauma spell is, well, you'll see in a minute. Check this out. A lot of people might want to pay closer attention to this one. Mostly women are more interested in this type, but everyone, please listen up. I'm talking about love spells. Now, I don't want to sound callous about love. I do understand the desire to have genuine love in your life, to have someone to go home to who's waiting for you with open arms, to build something special with. I even understand appeasing your lustfully sexual desires. I get it. It would be nice to have all of this without hurting someone. However, this type of charm is around about the most carelessly used charm that does the most damage. Does the most damage to other people and damage to the caster. Some people will cast a love spell on people already in a committed relationship. Someone please explain to me why that makes sense. Some may argue that the target is with the wrong person. How the fuck do you know? What, you feel it in your bones? Or is it that you desperately want your bones to feel them? Or is it that you want to feel their bones? Did you divine to see if that's true, that they're with the wrong person? Did they tell you that they're with the wrong person? If the answers to the last two questions are yes, then it's not a love spell that's needed. They need a different type of spell, and that's situational. And even if it's true that they're with the wrong person, still doesn't make you the right person. Hell, you could be the worst person. Or worse yet, they could be actually the worst for you. But all these physical attributes got you faded and delusional. You know, the fat ass, small waist, pretty face, dime piece, nice car, six-pack, long money, own a house, big career, big dick, job title, etc. But they might be a narcissist, controlling, abusive, manipulative, shit-starting, lazy, nasty, etc. Ooh, but that's what you want though, right? So badly that you went as far as casting a love spell though, right? Speaking of needing a different type of spell, story time! Many years ago, I was listening to a blog talk radio show, or was it YouTube? I can't remember. But anyways, where a metaphysical teacher named Brother Panic spoke about a client he had. His story shook me so much that it began my strict standards in casting charming spells, especially love spells. So this woman reached out to Brother Panic, needing his help. A dude she cast a love spell on went crazy. Come to find out that she cast not one love spell on this dude, but three. 3 different love spells damn near back to back. This made her target go cuckoo. Here's the kicker though. Guess who the dude was? Oh my goodness, y'all won't believe who this dude is. Bruh. It was her husband. Not some random dude she wanted as her mate, but her fully committed husband. Like her faithful husband, whom she's been married to for a significant amount of time. Why, pray tell, would this woman perform such a thing thrice? Her excuse was to improve their relationship and make his love for her stronger, or some kind of bullshit like that. This woman done turned this innocent man into a new Warner Brothers Looney Tune character for nothing. Unguided, dabbling in some shit she ain't had no business dabbling in. Like, if you gonna dabble in magic, don't dabble on people. Especially those you claim you love. She didn't need a love spell to improve their relationship. She could have just did an improvement spell, or petitioned the spirit to help with that, or hire a trained professional. Like, she could go to Panic to fix it, but not initially go to Panic to do the work. Miss me. She knew what she didn't know she was doing when she first started. The same energy she used to find help after the fuck up is the same energy she could have used to find help before she fucked up. Here's another reason why not to up and cast love spells. Interfering with folks' destiny. So you have a target whom you want to have sex with, and or have a meaningful and lasting relationship with. But you and that target ain't supposed to be together, if with anyone at all. Let's say that your target is supposed to be free of love relationships for the next 20 years because his destiny is to lead a group of people to another level in life. In order to do that, he must be clear of spiritual debt, not have the burden of appeasing his spouse's personal desires, like spending money buying gifts, having sex, time allotted for her, hearing her complaining about whatever, etc. So after successful completion of his immense task, then he will be blessed with the correct woman designed for him to spend the rest of his life with. Here your selfishly random ass come casting spells to make him yours. It works, but after a few months with him, you discover that he's really not the right fit for you for whatever reason. Different likes, he's too boring, sex ain't good, whatever. You did all that for nothing. You've given him a necessary mundane burden. Y'all fucked, enjoyable or not, and now he inherited your spiritual debts. Not take away from your spiritual debts, I want to be very clear, but he inherited, y'all shared the same debt together. Now, a debt that wasn't even initially his, it was all yours, but now he got to do something with it. Spiritual debts, which are promises and karma currently unsatisfied. And spiritual debts of folks you fucked before him. And if you cheated on him, folks you fucked while with him and turned around and fucked him. And now this man is off track, and you have to pay for that. All because you thought he was fine and wanted love or a fuck buddy. Just tearing up shit. Ladies and gentlemen, try loving yourself first and raise your love vibration to attract the one to love on you. Try doing a self-improvement spell. Request to make the necessary changes in your character, your mentality, your habits, your temperament, your choices. You know, things like that. Be honest with yourself. If you know you don't know what you're doing, find someone who is trained and experienced in that to either guide you or do the work for you. You can get a consultation from me at www.helpbyevina.com. And let's go about this the safe way, okay? It's not like I'm totally against charming spells. When performed responsibly, they can really be helpful. These things previously illustrated and more are reasons why you don't give guns to babies. Performing any type of magic improperly can lead to various levels of disaster you will have to pay for most of us can't afford. However, developing spiritual maturity and holding yourself to higher standards leads you to being responsible while casting any spell and leads you to living free.
Did you enjoy? Ooh, I hope you did. Did you learn anything? I hope you gained a great wealth of information. Did this episode leave you with questions? I hope you got plenty of those too. Send your questions to MeMyddleton@gmail.com. You never know, your question just might be the next topic on the MeMyddleton Show. What would you like to see on the MeMyddleton Show? Do you have any suggestions? Send them over to MeMyddleton@gmail.com and I'll be super happy to read your suggestions. If you're listening in on Podbean, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform, please leave a comment. If you're listening in on YouTube, leave a comment, click on the like button, click subscribe, and click on the notification bell to be notified of all uploaded videos. Check out my website at www.helpbyevina.com. That's HELPBYEVENAH.com. view merchandise, get a consultation, and listen to all episodes of the MeMyddleton Show. And remember, proper prior planning practically promotes persistent productivity and proud, pristine performances. Now, go practice your craft and perform. Until next time.